Hello students, today we will start a new unit, that is eye disorder. So before starting the disease portion, we have to review the anatomy and physiology of the eye. As you have already studied in the anatomy and physiology of eye in first year, so we will just review, means what all parts which will be there and how it will be affecting when the person is having any disease problem, and how the muscles which will be affected of the eye, how the vision which will be affected, how it will be damaged. So before discussing the disease, we have to know what are the anatomy and physiology of the eye. So we will just review of the anatomy and physiology of the eye. So here you will see the picture of the eye. In this you will see this is the conjunctiva, then this is the posterior chamber, this is cornea, this is anterior chamber, this one is the posterior chamber, this one is the anterior chamber, this is pupil, this one is lens, this is iris, this is posterior chamber, means both which will be posterior chamber. Then this is the zonular fiber of suspensory ligament, this is vitreous chamber, vitreous humerus which will be present in the eye. So this is the vitreous chamber. Then this is inferior rectus muscle. So this is the muscle which will be supporting the eye. eye को ये क्या करता है, support provide करता है. Then this is optic nerve, this is central nerve, this is central artery, this is fovea centralis, this is retina, this is choroid, this is sclera, and this is the superior rectus muscle. So these muscles which will be supporting the structure of the eye, so that the eye which will be able to do the proper functioning. Then the eye is a specialized sense organ. The eye in our body, there will be 5 sense organs. So the eye which will be a specialized sense organ that helps us to understand our environment. Means if the person which will be not able to see, in that time we will not identifying our environment. It is a sensory unit composed of 3 parts. Means in this there will be sensory unit which composed of 3 parts, that will be receptors, sensory pathway, and spherical shaped. It is about 2.5 centimeter in a diameter. So it is spherical in shape. Is the shape of the eye which will be spherical in shape, and it is about 2.5 centimeter in a diameter. So the diameter of the eye which will be 2.5 centimeter, and it will be situated in the orbital cavity. So this the structure of the eye which will be situated in the orbital cavity. Then this is the external anatomy of the eye, means the which will be supporting the eye externally. What all structure which will be present? So first is the eyebrows, then next is the eyelashes, then next is eyelids. This is the upper eyelid and this is the lower eyelid. So lower eyelid, then this one, this both which will be called as a palpebral fissure. Then this is the lateral commissure, this is the conjunctiva, over sclera, then this one is the lacrimal sac. So in this is the lacrimal sac, this is medial commissure. So and then this is iris, then this is pupil. So these are the external anatomy of the eye. So accessory organs and eye protections. So first is the orbital cavities, bony sockets. So in this, the bony orbital cavity, it acts as a bony socket. So it house and protect the eye. It will be providing the protection to the eye, so that the eye which will be present in the protective area, and it will be not directly damaged. Then next is the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, that is cushions the eye. So the adipose tissues which will be the eyes which will be made up through this adipose tissues which will be protect the cushions of the eye. Then next is the lacrimal gland. Lacrimal gland that produces tears that lubricant and have a germicidal effect. So this is the lacrimal gland. Means it will be present inside the area. So this lacrimal gland, what is the function of this lacrimal gland? This lacrimal gland which will be produces the tears. So why the produces why the tears which will be necessary for our eye. So when the tears which will be produces in our eye, so it will be protect the our means it will be lubricate our eyes and have germicidal effect. Means whenever we are having any or whenever any dust particle which will be enter into our eyes, so the lacrimal gland it will be produce the tear, and with the help of this tear the dust particle or anything it will be enter into our eyes, it will be removed out. The next is the eyebrows that will be protect against foreign particles, perspiration and direct rays of light. Means whenever we are getting direct light in our eyes, so the eyebrows which will be turn which will be closed. Means when we will be having the problem of or any foreign particles which will be enter in our eyes, in that time the eyebrows which will be the eyebrows which will be creating the perspiration, and it will be protected from the direct rays of the eyes. Then eyelids that will be fold of skin that cover the surface of the eye, then closed by reflex action when an object approaches. So the eyelids which will be responsible for fold of skin that cover the surface of the eye, it will be covering the surface of the eye. So closed by reflex action when an object approaches. When any object which will be approached in the eye, so these eyelids which will be closed because of because it will be protect the eyes. Then next is the eyelashes that will be secretes the oil that prevent lid from sticking together. Means these eyelashes which will be responsible for secreting the eyes, so that our eyelashes which will be or the eyelids which will be not sticking together. Then muscles of the eyes. So in muscles there will be extrinsic muscles. So muscles outside of the eye that control certain eye movement, such as moving the eyeball from side to side or rolling the eyeball. Means these extrinsic muscles which will be giving the support to our eye, so that our eyes which will be able to move, or the eyeballs which will be moved to upward, downward, side, lateral. So in this way, means if the muscles which will be not present in that time, or the muscles which will be weak in that time, the eyeballs which will be not able to move, not able to do the proper movement. Then intrinsic muscle, the muscles which will be located inside the eye. Means these muscles which will be present inside the eye that help to hold the lens in place and modify its shape. What is the function of this intrinsic muscle? So this intrinsic muscles, it will be inside the eye that help to hold the lens. Means this intrinsic muscle, these are the intrinsic muscles, this will be hold the lens in place. If these intrinsic muscles if it will be damaged, or if their elasticity which will be decreased, so in that condition it will be not able to hold the lens, and the lens which will be not in their proper place, and it will be not able to modifying their shape. Then layers. So in layer there are three layers of the eyes. In our eye there will be three layers. So first is the sclera. It is a white outer layer of the eyeball. You will see in our eye a white outer layer of the eyeball that is tough, and it will be made up of fibrous membrane that helps to maintain the spherical shape of the eyeball. What is the function of this? It will be helps to maintain the spherical shape of the eyeball. Then second layer, that is called as a cornea. So the cornea, it is a part of sclerotic coat. Means it is a part of which part? It is a part of sclerotic coat, transparent, front part of eyeball through which light waves pass. Means it will be present in the front area. Whenever we will examine the patient eye, so when we will produce some light, or when we will showing any torch to the patient's eye, so in that time the cornea which will be reflective, means, or the pupil, so in this front part of the eyeball through which light waves pass, no blood vessel but lots of nerve endings. But in this cornea there will be lots of nerve ending, but in this there will be no blood vessels present. Then next is the canals of Shellam, that is venous passages that drain the fluid that accumulate behind the cornea. So this canal of Shellam, it is a venous passage, and it will be drain the fluid, means which fluid? It will be drain the fluid that accumulates behind the cornea, means the fluid which will be accumulate or which will be formed behind the cornea. So these fluid, the canal of Shellam, which will be responsible for drain out this fluid, and located where the sclera and cornea meet. And this canal of Shellam, that will be located in the area of the sclera or cornea which will be meet. Then next is the conjunctiva. Conjunctiva, that is a thin transparent mucous membrane that covers the layer. Then next is the choroid layer. Choroid layer, that is the middle layer of the eye. So the middle layer of the eye, it supplies a blood vessel to the eye and contains dark pigment granules that prevent the reflection of the light in the eye. So this choroid layer, it is the middle choroid plexus or the choroid layer, which will be present in the middle layer of the eye. It supplies the vessel to the eye. Yeah. What is the responsibility of this choroid layer? It will be supplying the blood vessel to the eye, and it contains dark pigment granules. So in this choroid layer, there will be many dark pigment granules which will be responsible for prevent the reflection of the light in the eyes. Then next is the ciliary body. Ciliary body, it will be present in the intrinsic muscle. Intrinsic muscle is smooth muscle fiber support and modifying the lens shape. So these intrinsic muscle which will be smooth muscle fiber and it will be providing the support and modifying the lens shape. Then next is the iris. Iris, it is colored portion of eye formed by circularly and radially arranged smooth muscle fiber, regulates the amount of light entering the eye by constricting or dilating the pupil. Means this is a colored portion of the eye which will be formed by circulatory and readily arranged smooth muscle fiber, and in this it will be regulate the amount of eye, means amount of light, means when the light which will be entering into the eye, the eyes which will be constricted, means the pupil which will be constricted or dilated. So generally when we will produces light into the eyes, in that time the eyes which will be constricted. Then pupil. Pupil, that is a rounded opening of the iris through which light passes. Means through the pupil, it is rounded opening of which this is the rounded opening of the iris, and through this rounded opening it will be passes the light. Means through the pupil only the eye which will be getting the light, and the pupil which will be responsible for passing the light in the eyes. Then next is the retina. Retina, it is the innermost layer of the eye. So lines its surface and contains photoreceptors, that is cells responsible for converting light into nerve impulses, rods and cones. Means this retina, it is the innermost layer of the eye. So this retina, it is innermost layer, and in this there will be some lines, its surface and contains this retina. In this there will be some photoreceptors which will be present, and it will be responsible for converting light into nerve impulses. When our eyes which will be means seeing the light, so it will be convert this retina which will be responsible for converting the light into a nerve impulses, that will be rods and cones. Then eyes part. So rods, what is rod? So cylindrical photoreceptor found in greatest concentration on the edges of the retina. Most common type of receptor. It will be allow us to see in low light and provide for peripheral vision. Means this rods which will be cylindrical photoreceptors, means it is a cylindrical photoreceptor which will be found in the greatest concentration on the edges of the retina, and in this it is a most common receptor, and in this if there will be low light, so in this low light we will be able to also see what are things which will be present in the low light. So how it will be possible? It will be possible from this rods only, and it will be also providing the peripheral vision, so that we will see in every area of the with the help of the eyes. The next is the cones. Cones means conical photoreceptor found in greatest concentration near the center of the retina. There are three varieties, means in this cones there will be three varieties, each most sensitive to a particular wavelength, means it will be responsible for the wavelength, that will be color of light, means with the help of this cones only we will find out the color, means the color which will be blue, red, yellow. How we will find out? It will be find out with the help of this cones only. So if the cones which will be damaged, in that time we will be not able to find out the colors. Then allow for visual acuity, means visual acuity means in 6 by 6 diameter we will be able to see what things which will be written in the any area, or we will be able to see, or we will be able to means we will see that the vision which will be sharp or not. So if the cons which will be proper, so in that time it will be allow for normal visual acuity and the color vision. So in this it will be also providing the color vision. Then fovea centralis. Fovea centralis are depression or pit in the center of the retina that contains only cones. Means in this it will be having only cones, which will be provides for the most acute vision and color sensitivity. Means it will be also responsible for the acute vision and the color sensitivity of the eyes, and it will be present in the center of the retina, and in center of the retina that contains the only cones. Then next is the optic disc. Optic disc means it is also called as a blind spot. So a blind spot area where optic nerve attached to the retina does not contain any photoreceptor. Means in this blind spot, by the name itself we will find out that blind spot means area where optic nerve, means in this area the optic nerves which will be attached to the retina, but it does not contain any photoreceptor. Means in this area the photoreceptors which will be not contains. Then next is the lens. Lens, it is a flexible biconvex crystal-like structure that brings rays of light into focus and produces an image on the retina. Means lens, what is the function of the lens? This lens which is flexible. It is flexible and it is a biconvex crystal-like structure. So when the light rays which will be enter into our eyes and through the retina focus, and it will be means when it will be enter into the eyes, so it will be produces an image. Means if we are standing and the means light which will be focuses, and when the light which will be enter into our eyes, and through this light the lens which will be responsible for making the structure, or how it will be making the structure when the rays which will be enter into the eyes and it produces the image on the retina. Means it will be producing an image on the retina. Then suspensory ligament. Suspensory ligament hold the lens in place attached to the ciliary body, which control the amount of tension exerted on the eye. So it the suspensory ligament, it hold the lens, means it will be responsible for holding the lens in the place. If the suspensory ligament, it will be damaged or it will be affected, in that time it will be not able to attach the ciliary body, which control the amount of tension which will be exerted on the this eye. The next is the fluid which will be present in the eye. So the first one is the aqueous humor. This aqueous humor, it is a watery fluid that produce the nutrition. Means this aqueous humor which will be responsible for producing the nutrition and help to maintain the shape of the cornea. If the aqueous humor, it will be not produces in proper amount, so in that time it will be affect the shape of the cornea, which will be found in the smaller anterior chamber of the eye. So where it will be found? It will be found in the smaller anterior chamber of the eye. So that is called as a aqueous humor. The next is the vitreous humor. Vitreous humor, it is a thick gel-like substance that fills the largest chamber of the eye. So the aqueous humor, it will be filled in the small area of the chamber of the eye, but this vitreous humor, this is the thick gel-like substance that fills the largest chamber of the eye, and it will be helps to holds a spherical shape. So it how it means what is the responsibility of this? The vitreous humor, which will be holds is spherical shape of the eye. Then how the blood supply which will be occur in the eye? So through the carotid artery. So the with the help of the carotid artery, the blood which will be enter into the ophthalmic artery, and with the help of this ophthalmic artery, it will be enter into the ciliary artery and central retina, and after the ciliary artery, the blood which will be sent to the artery of the eyes. So in this way, the eye which will be getting the proper supply of the blood. Then physiology of the eye. So in physiology of the eye, first is the image formation. So first is refraction of light. The cornea reflects. In cornea we will see it will be reflect. So it will be reflected 75% of the light transmitted. The rest is done by lens. Means the cornea which will be responsible for reflect the 75% of the light which will be transmitted, but the rest is done means the 25% which will be done by the lenses. Image is projected on the retina. Means in previous slide we will see that the image which will be projected in the retina, inverted, minimized and real. So this is the human eye. So in human eye we will see that this is the retina and this one is the human brain. So in this way, the when the light which will be reflected in the human eye में जैसे ही light reflect होती है, so in this way the brain the light which will be reflected, and in the retina, here the retina is there, so it will be making a image. So it project an image, and it is a human brain. So the human brain which will be also giving the signal to the eyes, so that the eyes which will be seeing that the image, this image which will be able to seen by the human eye. Then accommodation of the lens. The lens is biconvex, which intensifies the focus power. Means accommodation of the lens means the what the lens which will be work. So the lens is biconvex. The lens which is biconvex, there will be two types of lenses, that will be convex or concave. So the lens is biconvex, which intensifies the focusing power. The lens is flexible. So the lens is flexible and can change curvature to the accommodate according to the light and object distance. Means the lens which will be flexible if the object which will be in a more distance. So the object which will be seeing in small means the size of that particular object which will be small. But if that object which will be near to our eyes. So in that time the eyes which will be seeing that object in a proper way. So the lens is flexible and it will be change their curvature, and according to their curvature it will be seeing the image. For far away object, the zonule fiber produce tension to the lens, giving it an elongated shape. Means if the object which will be far away, if the object which will be very far, so in that time there will be in our eye there will be one zonule fiber. So this zonule fiber, it will be produces the tension to the lens. So when the tension which will be produces into the lens, it will be giving it an elongated shape. So in this way the eyes which will be able to see that object. For close object there will be means for away object the zonule fiber which will be responsible, but for close object the ciliary muscles which will be contracted and relaxes the tension of the lens, which will be leading to a rounder shape. So uh, when the object which will be closed, so the ciliary muscle which will be contract, the ciliary muscle that will be contracted and it will be relaxes the tension of the lens. It produces, जब हम दूर की चीज देखते हैं, so in that time we have टेंशन, मतलब एक हम बहुत ध्यान से, हमको हमारे आईज जो है वो छोटे हो जाते हैं एंड वी हैव टू प्रोड्यूस सम टेंशन टू सी द फार ऑब्जेक्ट. हमको दूर की चीज को देखने के लिए मतलब एक टेंशन प्रोड्यूस होता है, हम उसको बहुत ध्यान से देखते हैं. बट क्लोज ऑब्जेक्ट है, सो इन दैट वे द सीलियरी मसल विच विल बी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड इट विल बी रिलैक्सेस द टेंशन ऑफ द लेंस. लेंस का जो टेंशन है वो क्या होता है, इट विल बी रिलैक्सेस एंड इट विल बी लीडिंग टू अ राउंडर शेप. Then accommodation of the lenses. So in this picture you will see this is the distance vision. So in distance vision you will see the ciliary muscle. So this is the ciliary muscle. So in this ciliary muscle you will see it will be contract and relaxes. So in this, after contraction it will be relaxed. So the eye which will be able to see the object and it will be for the means near object. In this zonules, the zonule fiber it will be produces some means tension, ये tension produce करता है. So in when the tension which will be produces, in this time the person which will be having the tension, so that we have to means make more concentration to see that particular object. Then physiology of the eye, the physiology of vision. So first is alignment of the eyes. So binocular vision. Binocular vision means the two eyes field of vision overlap and the image coincide, creating a single impression. Whenever we will see when a person, one individual which will be standing, in that time we will see in our two eyes one individual only. How it will be possible? It will be possible with the help of this binocular vision. The two eye field of vision overlap. This two eye field which will be overlapping and the image coincide, क्रिएटिंग अ सिंगल इम्प्रेशन. और ये क्या करते हैं, ये दोनों ही आई जो एक फील्ड में देख रहे हैं, व्हेन इट विल बी ओवरलैपिंग, सो इट विल बी इमेज अ कोइंसाइड क्रिएटिंग अ सिंगल इम्प्रेशन. और वो क्या बनाते हैं, सिंगल इम्प्रेशन बनाते हैं. सो इन दिस वे वी विल सी दैट इफ वन ऑब्जेक्ट इज देयर, सो आवर टू आईज विच विल बी सीइंग ओनली वन ऑब्जेक्ट. दिस इज डन बाय science eye movement where both eyes move simultaneously. Means ये कैसे होता है, it will be since eye movement where both eyes, our both eyes which will be moved simultaneously to maintain the overlap of vision. मतलब हमारा vision को overlap करने के लिए our eyes which will be moved simultaneously, अपने आप जो है simultaneously ये move करते रहते हैं, so that it will be maintaining the overlapping of the vision. Then next is the fixation. Involves looking stably straight ahead toward an object in space. So in this it will be involved. Fixation means it involve looking stably straight. मतलब हमारा जो head है वो स्टेबल स्ट्रेट होकर के जब हम देखते हैं टूवर्ड्स एन ऑब्जेक्ट इन स्पेस, So the object which will be fixed in our eye, हमारे eye में क्या हो जाता है, fix हो जाता है. So this is left eye visual field, this is right eye visual field. So in this you will see this is the blind spot, then this is the fixation point. So in this right eye, this is the blind spot. So in this that is horizontal meridian, this is vertical meridian, and this is the fixation point. So how the means fixation which will be occur. So this fovea and the optic disc. So in this way, the fixation point means a vertical meridian and the horizontal meridian, the fixation point which will be occur in this, and the person which will be able to see that particular object. Then next is the fusion. It is the power exerted by the eyes to keep the position of the eye alignment so that the fovea can project the same point in space. Means in this you will see this it is a power exerted by the eyes. Means in fusion there will be some power which will be exerted by the eyes, and it will be keeping the position of the eyes aligned. Means ये क्या करता है, एक eyes का जो alignment है उसके position को वो straight रखता है, मतलब उसको उसके position को वो correct करके रखता है, so that the fovea can, जिसके कारण से जो fovea है वो क्या करता है, it can project the same point in space. मतलब वो जो दोनों ही eyes क्या करते हैं, it will be projecting the same point. So in this way you will see this is the both visual area है ना. So in this this is a flower. So this is left eye visual axis, this is the right eye visual axis. This one is left eye, this one is right eye. So these left fovea and right fovea. So in this way you will see that the power which will be exerted the eyes to keep the position, means it will be keep the position to and it will be maintaining the alignment, so that the fovea, this fovea which can be able to maintain the object in a target point, or it will be same point in a space. So in the both eyes it will be making different image, but in the both eyes there will be seeing a one object, a single object only. So in this way the fusion which will be work in our eye. Then next is the eye movement. So controlled by extraocular muscles. So in this way you will see we will make the eye movement. So this is upper, this is side lateral, this is downward. So in this way the eye movement which will be occur to left lever version. So in this way you will see the to the left that is lever version, to the right that is there will be some name. So that is dextroversion, the upward, this one is upward. So the upward that is the circumversion, and downward that is a dios subversion. So these are the eye movement. This is also physiology of the eye. Then range of focus. For distance greater than 20 feet, no accommodation is required by the lens. But at this distance, shortens the lens has to accommodate and will thicken to clarify image. Means for distance, the distance, how much distance? For distance greater than 20 feet, there will be no accommodation is required. And by the no accommodation is required by the lenses. मतलब अगर distance 20 feet से ज़्यादा होता है, so in that condition there will be no accommodation is required by the lens. But as this distance, लेकिन इस distance के according it will be shortens the lens has to accommodate and will thicken to clarify image. मतलब जैसे जैसे distance दूर होता जाएगा, so in that time the images which will be shortened. So we will not clarify that particular image. So in this way we will not able to clarify the image properly. So these all are about the review of anatomy and physiology of the eye. So in next class we will start from the disease portion. So thank you all.